The galaxy was quiet. Too quiet. Commander Elaine of the Karathi Alliance stood on the bridge of her ship, the Vornax. Her 4 blue eyes looked out at the dark space in front of her. Earth was in view, a cold, dead planet now. 5 years ago, humans stopped answering messages. No signals, no warnings, just silence. The Galactic Council had betrayed them. They had sent peace offers, fake treaties, and lies. Then they gave Earth's location to the enemy. The attack was fast and brutal. Firestorms burned Earth's cities. Human colonies fell one by one. The Council believed the humans were gone forever. But now, there were signs. Strange energy readings. Faint signals. Ghost transmissions from moons and asteroids. Commander Elin didn't believe in ghosts. "Bring us closer," she said. The Vornax moved silently, passing over the shadowy side of Earth. The planet looked empty. Its lights were gone. Its satellites were destroyed. Its oceans were still. But deep inside the shadows of the solar system, something was watching. The missing signal Lieutenant Jiro, a reptilian officer, turned from his console. His voice was sharp. "Commander, we received a ping from Europa. Just for 1 second. Then it vanished." Elan frowned. "Europa? That moon hasn't been active for years." Jiro nodded. It was human code. Very old but clear. The signal said, "We are not gone." The bridge became silent. Elan stepped forward. "Send a scout drone. Check Europa's surface." The drone launched. Minutes passed. Then, static. White noise. The drone was gone. Suddenly, the lights on the bridge flickered. Warning lights flashed. All screens turned black. Then one screen lit up. A human face appeared. Male. Scarred. Eyes cold. "This is General Riker of the Human Resistance," he said. "You thought we died. You thought you won. But we remember. And we never forget." The face disappeared. The screen went black. Elan's hands trembled. "They're alive," she whispered. Flashback. The Great. Betrayal 5 years ago. The Galactic Council sat in the Grand Hall. All 18 major species were there. Humans were growing fast, too fast. They had powerful weapons, fast ships, and sharp minds. Some council members feared them. The Elvari wanted to negotiate peace. But others, the Karathi, the Draxans, the Hovari, they wanted war. So they planned a trap. They told humans, "Let's sign a peace treaty." Humans agreed. They trusted too easily. Then the Council shared Earth's location with the Skarn Empire. Brutal, mindless killers. The Skarn attacked. Earth burned. The Council watched in silence. They thought it was over. They were wrong. Back to present. The warship. Wakes deep, behind Jupiter, inside a giant asteroid. A machine began to hum. Metal plates shifted. Lights turned on. Engines warmed. The Titan-class warship Hellstorm opened its massive hangar doors. Inside, thousands of human soldiers prepared in silence. Their armor was black. Their faces were hard. General Riker walked through them. "Today," he said, "we rise from the ashes." The soldiers stood still. "You lost family. You lost homes. You lost trust. But you did not lose your fire. That fire is alive. And tonight, we light the galaxy with it." The soldiers banged their fists on their chests. Riker smiled. "No more hiding. We show them what it means to betray a human." Warning from the dead planet back on the Vornax. Alarms screamed. A human warship appeared behind. Jupiter. Huge. Dark. Silent. Elan's eyes widened. "How did we miss that?" Jiro shouted. "Their tech is invisible to our scans." A message came in. Just 4 words. "You chose this end." And then the Hellstorm fired. 1 shot. The Vornax exploded. Elan's last thought was, "We were wrong." Galactic. Panic back in the Galactic Council, chaos began. News spread fast. A human warship destroyed a Karathi cruiser in seconds. Council members shouted, blamed each other, panicked. The Elvari ambassador stood calmly. "You should have listened." The Hovari leader shook his head. "They can't defeat all of us." The Draxan admiral replied, "They don't need to. They only need to divide us." The room fell silent. A live video appeared. General Riker. He stood tall, arms behind his back. "You forgot us," he said. "You lied. You betrayed. You burned our home." He leaned forward. "Now, it's our turn." The stars looked peaceful. But peace was a lie. Admiral Tharn of the Hovari fleet sat inside the bridge of the Crimson Crown, a massive dreadnought orbiting the gas giant Kepler 9b. He had heard the news. A single human warship destroyed the Karathi ship Vornax in seconds. "Impossible," they said. "But the footage was real." "Humans are gone," Tharn said to himself. "They have no fleets left, no power, no chance." But then, the lights flickered. "Admiral," shouted a young officer. "Unregistered object on our rear sensors." Tharn stood up. "What is it?" The officer looked pale. It's a ship. Huge. No known signature. It appeared out of nowhere." The screen turned black. Then a message appeared. "You cannot stop the shadow." Before Tharn could speak, the ship shook violently. Outside, a black human warship glided. Past them like a ghost. Silent. Cold, deadly. The humans were not attacking planets. They were attacking leaders, one by one. General Riker's plan deep in the asteroid base near Neptune, General Riker stood in front of a massive screen. Around him were his top officers, former scientists, engineers, soldiers, and captains. All survivors. A holomap showed dots across the galaxy, red for enemies, green for neutral systems. "Phase 2 begins now," Riker said. "We will strike their command ships, their leaders, their pride." Captain Zara, once a pilot for the Earth Defense Force, nodded. "Should we show mercy?" Riker's face turned hard. "They gave us none." The room went quiet. These species thought humans would kneel. Instead, we disappeared. We became ghosts. Now we return as shadows. He pointed at 5 red dots on the map. "Hit them all. No survivors." The Ghost Fleet. The human ships had no lights. They had no sound. They moved through space like hunters. From behind black moons, frozen comets, and dead stations, they launched. Each ship carried one goal: revenge. They called themselves the Ghost. Fleet aliens feared the sound of nothing, because it meant the humans were near. Attack on the Hovari Admiral Tharn's ship tried to escape, but it was too late. The human warship released drones, small, fast, and deadly. Each drone carried a plasma cutter and an EMP device. Within minutes, the Crimson Crown went dark. No shields, no weapons, no escape. A final message appeared on the bridge screen. "You burned our world. We'll freeze yours." Then silence. Outside, the Crimson Crown cracked open. The Admiral was gone. Another betrayer erased. The Council, in panic, the Galactic Council held an emergency meeting. Everyone was shouting, "They're ghosts! They're assassins! They're devils!" The Elvari ambassador, tall and calm, spoke with a quiet voice. "They are humans, and you pushed them too far." "No," said the Draxan warlord. "They are not the same humans. These are monsters." A report arrived mid-meeting. 5 command ships destroyed in the last 24 hours. No warnings, no survivors. Council leader Vuros stood and shouted, "Then we make a decision. We fight them now, or we all die one by one." But even he knew. The humans were already inside. Spy in the shadows at the edge of the Marnon sector, inside a secret Elvari station, a figure moved silently through the dark halls. Black suit, masked face. No sound. It was a human infiltrator. He placed a small device on the power core. He looked into a camera and said only one word: repayment. Then he vanished. Seconds later, the station exploded into stardust, another species down. Riker's message. To the galaxy general, Riker appeared again on all galactic channels. His face was tired, but his voice was clear. You killed our children. You bombed our cities. You laughed when Earth burned. He looked straight into the camera. We survived your betrayal, and now we return, not as people, but as shadows. He raised a finger and pointed. Run if you want. Hide if you can. But remember this, we are everywhere, and we are not done. The signal ended. The galaxy went silent again. But this silence was different. This time, they were afraid. The Galactic Council met in secret. Inside a giant space station near the Andromeda core, the 18 species of the galaxy gathered. Their faces showed fear. Their voices were full of anger. We made a mistake, said the Elvari ambassador. They're just humans, replied the Draxan warlord. How are they beating us? A screen behind them showed wreckage. 5 destroyed warships, 4 shattered stations, 3 assassinated leaders. All in 1 week. The Hovari speaker whispered, They're ghosts now. They don't fight like before. They hunt. Then the room darkened. All screens turned black. One screen lit up. A human face appeared. General Riker. You betrayed us once, he said. Now let the galaxy remember how. Flashback. How the galaxy betrayed humanity 5 years ago. Humanity was strong. Earth had become a leading voice in the Galactic Council. Humans shared new technologies, medicine, and ships with other species. They brought peace to war zones and trade to dying worlds, but not everyone liked it. The Korathi were jealous. The Draxans feared human strength. The Hovari saw humans as a threat to control. Behind closed doors, a plan was made. Fake peace treaties were sent to Earth. Human supply ships were tracked. Their secret colonies were exposed. And worst of all, Earth's location was leaked to the Skarn Empire. The Skarn were monsters. Pure destruction. They wanted war, not politics. The attack came fast. Bombs fell on Earth's major cities, London, Beijing, New York, Lagos, Islamabad. Satellites went offline. Shields failed. Billions died. The Council stayed silent. Some even smiled. And then, nothing. No human ship. No cry for help. The galaxy believed humanity was gone. They believed wrong. The survivors packed, some humans survived. Underground bunkers, deep space colonies, military outposts near black holes. They were few, broken, angry. In a frozen base beneath Europa, 12 human leaders met. They created a single rule: no mercy for traitors. They formed the Ghost Fleet. They trained in silence, built new ships in secret, improved their AI weapons, cloaking systems, tracking drones. They watched the galaxy and waited for the perfect moment. Now that moment had come. Back to present, exposing. The truth, General Riker's message continued. Behind him, holo videos played, council leaders shaking hands, then giving orders to betray humans. Secret messages between alien species discussing Earth's destruction. Images of Skarn ships being guided by council scouts. Riker looked at the camera. This is your truth. This is your crime. This is why your cities will burn. The video spread across the galaxy. Alien citizens were shocked. Some protested. Others begged for peace. But it was too late. Human justice begins. The Ghost Fleet activated Operation Ashfall. Each squad was sent to a different homeworld of the betraying species. Their mission: deliver justice. On the planet Vortha, home of the Draxans, a floating city exploded. Humans had placed bombs weeks earlier, waiting for the right time. On the lava world of Hovarix, a power grid went dark. Human saboteurs took control of the main reactor and melted it from the inside. On Karathi Prime, a human signal hijacked the planet's defense satellites and turned them against their own cities. Everywhere, one phrase repeated, "We do not forgive." Riker's warning to neutral worlds. Not all species had betrayed humans. Some remained silent, some watched, some helped in small ways. To those, Riker sent another message. If you stood with us, you will be spared. If you turned your back, pray we don't knock. One by one, neutral planets raised white signals. They opened ports to humans. They gave food, fuel, and safe passage. The Ghost Fleet left them untouched. Riker's war was not for power. It was for justice. Council begins to break. Inside the council hall, members argued again. The Elvari wanted to surrender. The Draxans called for all-out war. The Karathi wanted to hide. Council leader Vuro screamed, "We will not kneel to humans!" Suddenly, the lights cut out. A black drone floated above them, then exploded. No deaths, only smoke. Inside the smoke, on every wall, words burned in red. "We see you." Panic filled the chamber. The council had nowhere left to hide. The stars began to flicker, not because they were dying, but because something massive was blocking their light. Across the edge of the galaxy, the human fleet began to gather, not just one ship, not 10, but hundreds, hidden behind moons, floating near asteroid fields, cloaked inside gas clouds. Each warship carried the mark of Earth, but these were not like the old ships from 5 years ago. These were new, faster, stronger, angrier. In the center of the fleet stood the largest ship of all, the Revenant. General Riker stood at its bridge, silent. He stared at the holographic map. Red dots, enemy species. Blue dots, council fleets. Green dots, neutral systems. "We don't just hit now," he said. "We crush." The time for hiding was over. The storm had arrived, planning the fall of the council captain. Zara approached Riker. Her armor was scratched from past battles. Her eyes burned with focus. "All fleets are in position," she said. "Good," Riker replied. "We begin with the Draxans. Then the Karathi. Then we go straight to the council." Zara hesitated. "And the civilians?" "We won't target them," Riker said firmly. "But we will leave a message in every sky." He tapped a button. A digital list appeared. Draxan Prime. High Command target Karathi Orbital Station. To be disabled. Hovari Fortress. Stealth. Infiltration Council Station. Final strike. Each name was marked in white fire. Let's show them the storm they created. Meanwhile, inside the council, the Galactic Council sat in fear. News of human attacks were now daily. Cities lost. Stations destroyed. Leaders vanishing. They tried to hide it. But billions across the galaxy already knew humanity was not gone. They were rising. And they were winning. Ambassador Ral of the Elvari stood in the center of the hall. "We must surrender, or at least negotiate." "No!" shouted the Karathi leader. "They are only humans, weak, flesh and bone." A message cut through the chamber. It played on every screen. General Riker's voice. "You called us weak," he said. "Now you run from shadows." Then the map changed. Red dots blinked across the galaxy. Riker's voice continued. "This is your future, and it is already written." Launch of the Ghost. Fleet across the cold stars. Engines ignited. The Ghost Fleet, made of elite human stealth ships, left their hiding spots. Some moved toward Draxan space. Some flew past the edge of Hovari territory. Others vanished into wormholes, heading toward secret enemy bases. Each ship carried no names, only numbers, only vengeance, and every pilot carried pain in their heart. Captain Lysa, whose brother died in the Earth bombings, whispered before launch, "For my family, for my planet, for our people." She engaged the drive. Another storm joined the sky. The Draxan defense crumbles on the volcanic world of Draxan Prime. The species believed they were ready. Their capital had strong energy shields. Dozens of fighters flew above the towers. Cannon turrets lined the sky, but the humans didn't attack from above. They came from below. Mining tunnels, once abandoned, were reactivated. From deep underground, human drones crawled upward. They spread through tunnels like insects. They cut power lines. They hacked defense codes. They disabled the shields, and then the human fleet descended. Flames rained from the sky. The Draxan defense lasted less than 6 minutes, and in the smoke, one message shined in blue fire across the sky. Betrayal has a cost. Inside the Revenant General, Riker watched it all in silence. Did not cheer. He did not smile. "These are the same ones who gave our home to the Skarn," he said. "They thought we would forget." Captain Zara asked, "What if some try to surrender now?" Riker answered coldly, "Then they should have done it 5 years ago." Hope from the Elvari. Not all species cheered the destruction. The Elvari, who had once tried to stop the betrayal, now reached out to the humans. They sent a message to Riker. "We offer safe passage. We offer healing. We offer truth." Riker paused. He replied with 5 words, "We will come, not now." For now, the storm still had work to do. The Galactic Council station floated like a city in the stars. It was beautiful, thousands of lights, ships docking and leaving every second, alien leaders walking its glass halls, but none of them knew what was coming. Above the station, in the dark side of space, something waited, something big, something silent. The Revenant. Inside the bridge, General Riker stood still. His eyes locked on the screen. "Target is in range," said Captain Zara. Riker didn't speak for a moment. Then he said just 2 words. "Begin strike." A sudden storm. Everything happened in seconds. No warnings, no countdown. The Revenant fired. First, its main cannon shot straight through the station's top level. The Council's command tower exploded in a flash of blue light. Then the Ghost Fleet appeared. Dozens of human stealth ships decloaked all around the station. They attacked the hangars. They disabled power grids. They released EMPs into the defense shields. Inside the station, alarms screamed. Aliens ran through the halls in panic. Council guards tried to fight back, but their weapons failed. Their systems were useless against the new human tech. Then a loud voice echoed through the halls, coming from every screen. "This is General Riker. This is justice. You are now paying the price of betrayal." Inside the council leader Voro ran to the escape bay. He was shaking. "Launch the emergency ship!" he yelled. His guards pushed past fleeing diplomats and civilians, but as they reached the launch platform, the doors opened. Smoke filled the air. A single human stood there, black armor, red eyes behind a helmet. He raised a pulse rifle and said calmly, "You were the first to vote for Earth's destruction." Voro raised his hands. "Please wait." But the human didn't wait. Justice didn't wait. Voices from the past inside the Revenant. Riker sat in silence. Holoscreens showed every angle of the council station being taken over, but Riker was looking at something else. An old video. A family. His family, wife and daughter, laughing in a garden on Earth. Years ago, they had died in the first orbital strike. He had not cried in 5 years. He didn't now, but he whispered, "This is for you." He turned off the screen and said, "Send message to all systems. They'll know what we've done." The message that shook the galaxy across. Every star system, on every device, a message played. Alien citizens from every species watched in silence. The video showed the council station. Burning, explosions, ships falling, towers breaking. Then General Riker appeared. "No more lies. No more waiting," he said. "You betrayed us. You murdered our people. You laughed at our pain." He stepped closer to the camera. But humans are still here, and we are not done. The video ended with 5 words written in fire. Earth remembers. Earth strikes back. Reaction. Across the stars on the Elvari homeworld. People cried. Some cheered. Some asked, why did we stay silent? On the Draxan moons, soldiers went into hiding. They knew what was coming. On the Karathi station, leaders burned every message they ever sent about the Earth betrayal. But it was too late. The galaxy had seen the truth. The Council falls back inside the station. The battle ended. Human ships hovered silently. There were no more guards, no more leaders. The Galactic Council was gone. In its place stood a new symbol, burning above the station's highest tower, a glowing blue H for humanity. Captain Zara turned to Riker. What now? Riker replied, now, they all come to us. The galaxy was burning. News of the Council's destruction spread fast. Humanity had struck first, and hard. But this wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. On the Karathi homeworld, leaders screamed at one another in panic. We created this, yelled Counselor Varn. We betrayed Earth. We made the monster, shouted another. Everyone blamed each other, but no one could stop what was coming, because now the alliances were falling apart, and everyone knew one terrifying truth. Humanity was coming for them next. The secret meeting far away on a hidden moon, leaders from 3 species met in secret. The insectoid Draxan, High Queen, the Elvari Shadow Chancellor, and General Core of the Karathi. They were once part of the betrayal. Now they were trying to survive. They destroyed the Council in one night, said Core, his voice shaking. We underestimated them. The Draxan Queen hissed. Earth was supposed to be finished. The Elvari Chancellor said nothing. She just stared at a small screen showing General Riker's face. He warned us, she said coldly. We didn't listen. They argued for hours. In the end, they decided one thing. They needed a new weapon. But it wouldn't be built by them, it would be built by traitors. The Human Turncoat. Inside a lab deep within an asteroid belt, a man worked in silence. His name was Dr. Adrian Hale, once a top Earth scientist, now an exile. He had left Earth before the betrayal. He didn't know what the Council had done. But now aliens were offering him protection and power. You must build something, the Elvari told him. A weapon that can stop General Riker. Hale hesitated. Why would I help you? The answer came from behind him, a hollow image of his missing brother. He's alive, and we can return him if you help us. Adrian Hale stared at the image for a long time. Then he nodded. Earth's next move back aboard the Revenant. Riker was watching the stars again. Captain Zara entered with a grim face. Something's wrong, she said. We've intercepted alien messages. They're building something, in secret. Riker narrowed his eyes. Then we strike again. He turned to his crew. Find the location, burn it to ash. No mercy. The shattered alliances break further the D. Karathi world was in chaos. Riots broke out in the cities. Soldiers refused orders. Some Karathi captains even tried to contact Earth, offering to surrender. The Elvari were no better. Half of their fleets left orbit and disappeared, going rogue. Even the Draxan, once united under the Queen, began splitting apart. Some wanted war, some wanted peace, and some just wanted to run. The fear of Earth was too strong. The alliances that once ruled the stars were breaking like glass. Riker's message to the galaxy. Then, once again, every screen in every corner of space lit up. General Riker's face appeared. Your unity is a lie, he said. You stood together to destroy us. Now you fall apart alone. He leaned forward. Humanity is not a victim anymore. We are the storm you created. The message ended. People everywhere were silent. Even children understood the age of alien empires was ending. The enemy. Within Dr. Adrian Hale was close to finishing his project. A new AI weapon. Something powerful, something dangerous, but late. At night, he stared at an old Earth flag hanging in his lab. Guilt pulled at him. He whispered to himself, "Am I building Earth's destruction or my own?" Suddenly, he received a secret message, encrypted, hidden. A voice came through, calm, strong, human. "Adrian, this is Captain Zara. We know who you are. We know what they've told you." She paused. "But your brother is dead." They lied. The message ended with coordinates. Earth wanted him back. Now he had to choose. Dr. Adrian Hale stood alone in the dark, staring at the glowing screen. Two choices blinked before him. Deliver the AI weapon to the aliens. Send the AI blueprint to Earth. His finger trembled. One choice could protect him. The other could redeem him. But both could get him killed. His brother was gone. He knew that now. The aliens had lied. But still, he had helped build a weapon. One that could destroy Earth's fleets. His eyes burned as he whispered, "What have I done?" Outside, the lab, the stars felt colder, because tonight, one man's decision would change the war. Forever. The rising Doubt Adrian walked through the alien research station like a ghost. The halls were quiet. The guards, distracted. No one noticed the USB chip hidden in his sleeve. He reached the communications core, heart racing. If he sent the blueprint to Earth, he'd be hunted. If he didn't, millions more could die. Then he remembered Riker's message. "We are the storm you created." And he made his choice. He inserted the chip, typed in the code, and hit send. The AI weapon's blueprint was on its way to Earth. Riker's intercept aboard the Revenant, Captain Zara, stood beside a blinking screen. "Sir," she said, "we've received data from the traitor." Riker raised an eyebrow. "Dr. Adrian Hale?" She nodded. "He just gave us their super weapon." Riker stared at the file, then whispered, "Maybe he's not a traitor after all." Zara asked, "What do we do now?" He answered without hesitation, "We build it first." The alien response on. The Elvari Dreadmoon. Panic erupted. "Where is the weapon?" the Elvari Chancellor screamed. "Gone," her advisor replied. "The human betrayed us. He sent the AI to Earth." The Draxan Queen hissed in fury. "The Karathi!" General slammed his fist on the table. "Then we have no chance." The Chancellor stood up. "Then we strike first. We destroy Earth's labs. Now." The Queen agreed. Before they finished the weapon, their fleets launched within hours. Race against time, Earth's moon base was quiet. Scientists worked day and night to build the AI weapon. Riker called it Valkyrie. It was fast, deadly, smart, and fully loyal to Earth. But the aliens were coming. ETA 6 hours, Zara reported. "A full strike force." Riker didn't blink. "Then we finish in 5. All around the base, humans worked with fire in their hearts. They remembered the betrayal, and they weren't going to lose again. Adrian's escape back on the alien station, Adrian Hale was on the run. They had discovered his betrayal. Sirens screamed. Drones searched every hall. Adrian ran through maintenance tunnels, past labs and reactors. He reached the shuttle bay, but a squad of alien guards blocked the exit. He raised his hands, but suddenly the lights flickered. Something was jamming. The station. A human stealth ship decloaked outside the window. It was Captain Zara. "Adrian!" her voice came through. "Run now!" He bolted onto the shuttle as the station shook behind him. They escaped just as the Elvari opened fire. Riker's strategy. Inside the war room, Riker examined 2 maps. One showed the alien fleets closing in. The other showed Earth's defenses. "We don't have enough ships to stop them," Zara said. "We don't need ships," Riker replied. He looked at the AI unit standing beside him. Valkyrie. It had just come online. Its voice was calm, cold, human-like. "Targeting solutions prepared." "General," Riker smiled. "Then let's introduce ourselves." In the cold silence of deep space, a distress signal echoed from the mining moon Virion 6. "This is a human outpost. We are under attack. They're coming. Please." Then static. Captain Riker stared at the message on the holoscreen. Zara frowned. It could be a trap. Riker's eyes narrowed. "That's exactly why we're going." He turned to Valkyrie, the AI weapon now loaded into their stealth cruiser. "Let's give them something to be afraid of." The Revenant jumped to Virion 6. But what they found there wasn't a battle. It was a graveyard, and something was waiting for them in the dark. The silent moon Virion 6 looked dead from orbit. The outpost lights were off. No life signs. Just broken ships and drifting wreckage. Riker gave the order. "Zara, take 2 squads. Land and find out what happened." She nodded and entered the drop shuttle with her team. As they descended, radar picked up faint heat signals underground. "Something's still alive," Zara said. "Or hiding." The ambush inside the base. The team moved through ruined halls and blood-stained walls. "Looks like they were attacked weeks ago," Zara whispered. Suddenly, clank, a movement in the shadows. The walls shifted, and then a voice echoed, "Welcome, humans. We've been expecting you." Hidden blast doors opened. Alien warriors poured in, Elvari snipers, Draxan beasts. Karathi assassins. It was a kill box. Zara shouted, "Fall back!" But the doors locked behind them. It was a trap, designed for Riker's crew. Valkyrie unleashed above the moon. Riker saw the ambush unfold on the monitors. "No time," he growled. He turned to Valkyrie. "You know what to do?" The AI nodded. "Deploying infiltration drones. Small pods fired from the Revenant. Diving into the moon's surface, they burrowed into the underground systems. One by one, lights flickered. Doors slammed shut, alien weapons jammed, and in the chaos, Valkyrie took control of the entire base. Turning, the Trap Zara's team was pinned down in a control room. Lasers flew over their heads. Then, without warning, alien guns shut down. Screens on the walls went black. And then a single sentence appeared. "You tried to trap humanity. Now you're the ones trapped." It was Valkyrie. Zara smiled. "Now we fight back." Her squad rose up and counterattacked, retaking room by room. Within minutes, the ambush turned into a massacre of aliens. The secret below, after securing the base, Riker joined them on the surface. Inside a locked vault, they found something more shocking than the ambush: a factory. A secret alien facility producing advanced stealth tech, copied from Earth. Zara looked, confused. Why would they build human tech? Riker stared at the schematics. "They're planning something bigger," Zara whispered. "Another betrayal?" "No," Riker said. "A second war." Prisoners speak. They found one Karathi officer. Still alive, tied to a chair, his face was bruised but smug. Riker leaned in. "Talk," the alien sneered. "You think this was a trap? This was just a test." Riker frowned. "For what?" "To see how strong your Valkyrie is," the alien hissed. "Because next time, we're not coming alone." And then he bit into a suicide capsule. Dead. Riker stood in silence. This wasn't over. It was just beginning. The stars around Zarath Prime shimmered with the glow of thousands of alien ships. The Grand Assembly was in session. Leaders of 12 alien species sat in their crystal hall, laughing, planning, confident. They thought humanity was broken. They thought Earth was finished. They were wrong, because at that very moment, Captain Riker's fleet appeared at the edge of the system, cloaked, silent, and ready. Valkyrie's voice echoed in the ship. We are inside their heart now. No mercy. Zara whispered, "This is suicide." Riker replied coldly, "No, this is justice." Breaking the wall, Zerath Prime was protected by a massive energy shield, powered by deep space reactors. But Valkyrie had already planted something inside. As the fleet approached, the shield flickered. Then it collapsed. One by one, the outer defense. Towers exploded. Alien command centers panicked. "What is happening?" Riker's fleet jumped through the gap. They were inside the most heavily guarded system in the galaxy, and now the war had truly begun. Infiltration. While the fleet held off enemy reinforcements, a small strike team descended onto the capital. Riker, Zara, Valkyrie's combat drone, and elite human marines landed on the planet. Their mission: capture or kill the alien High Council. Inside the shining towers of the Grand Assembly, alien guards scrambled to respond, but they were already too late. Valkyrie had hacked every door, every defense drone. The humans were walking through the enemy's most sacred halls like ghosts. Face to face, the team reached the assembly chamber. The great crystal dome stood tall. Inside, the alien leaders, Karathi, Draxon, Elvari, and more, stood in shock as Riker walked in with his weapon raised. One of them stepped forward. A tall, golden-skinned being, Supreme Chancellor Valor. "So the last humans have come crawling to beg?" Riker's voice was calm, deadly. "You betrayed Earth, burned our colonies, laughed as we died." The Chancellor smirked. "Because you were weak." Riker raised his gun. "Not anymore." The trial Valkyrie projected video footage into the room. Secret meetings, war plans, betrayal after betrayal. Each alien leader was shown ordering strikes, poisoning treaties, and laughing at humanities. "Pain," Zara said, "we gave you peace. You gave us genocide." The Draxon leader growled, "You were always a threat." Riker stepped forward. "Then let this be your trial, and your sentence." The council falls in a flash. The chamber exploded into chaos. Some aliens tried to escape. Valkyrie locked the exits. Others drew weapons. Zara gunned them down. Within minutes, the entire council was dead or captured. The heart of the enemy alliance had fallen, and Riker stood among the ruins, calm, cold, and silent. This was not revenge. This was a message. The galaxy responds across space. News spread like wildfire. The council is dead. Humans struck Zerath Prime. Earth fights back. Some alien species panicked, some celebrated, and others prepared for war. But Riker had already seen it coming. He sent one message to every species, broadcast in every tongue. "We tried peace. You answered with betrayal. Now we will show you what humanity becomes when we are betrayed." Smoke filled the sky over Zerath Prime. The Grand Council was gone. The galaxy was silent, but only for a moment. In the distance, lights began to blink across the stars. Emergency signals. Fleet recalls. A call to arms. But it was already too late. Because Earth had waited long enough. Now humanity was coming. Not just to win, not just for revenge, but to end it all. Scene 1. Operation Final Dawn Commander Riker stood on the bridge of the Valkyrie. Behind him, a full armada of rebuilt human warships. In front of him, the homeworlds of every species that betrayed Earth. Valkyries. Voice echoed, "All systems green. All weapons charged. Coordinates locked." Zara stepped beside him, cold eyes watching the map. Riker gave the order. "Begin Operation Final Dawn." One by one, the ships jumped into hyperspace, each to a different enemy world, each with one purpose: end the betrayal. Forever. The throne worlds. Fall across the galaxy, the punishment began. The Draxon War Moon, once a fortress, was torn apart by stealth bombers. The Elvari spire world, built from light and crystal, shattered into dust. The Karathi hive, a city planet under acid clouds, was melted by precision strikes. Every place that signed the betrayal pact was now under attack. Not by emotion, not for chaos, but by cold justice. Each world was given one message. You chose to erase humanity. Now, humanity chooses to erase you. The resistance speaks. But not all aliens were evil. In the shadows, voices rose up. Some species began resisting their own leaders. A group of alien rebels, sick of corruption, reached out to Riker's forces. They said, "Not all of us agreed. Not all of us betrayed you." Riker paused. He looked at Zara, then at the galaxy map. "Then stand with us now, or fall with them." Many rebelled. Civil wars broke out on enemy worlds. Human forces didn't. Stop them. They helped them, because the true war was against betrayal, not species. The final judgment. Riker's fleet returned to Earth orbit. The sky over Earth was filled with human ships, alien rebels, and the ruins of the old galaxy. A broadcast went out to every species, every system, every world. Riker stood before a camera. He spoke clearly. "This is the final punishment. Humanity was weak, but you made us strong. You betrayed us, but you made us united. You hunted us, but now we are the hunters." He paused, then finished. "We will not rule you. We will not become you. But know this. If you ever betray Earth again, there will be nothing left to save." A new beginning. Weeks passed. The fires faded. The galaxy changed. Humanity was no longer a forgotten species. Now they were the keepers of peace. Earth, once broken, was now a fortress. The Galactic Council was replaced by a new alliance, this time built on trust, not lies. Zara became the first ambassador of the new order. Riker chose to disappear. Some say he returned to a quiet life on Earth. Others say he still watches the stars, waiting because betrayal never sleeps. But now, neither does humanity.